Brandy, I have some big things coming up. Can I
can't
tell
wait.
you?
Tell me.
I've been doing a lot of Prop 1 conversations, and I got asked recently to moderate a forum of like 2 Prop 1 people, but I was like, I'm not moderating the forum.
Okay.
What I will do is I will moderate a debate in my studio under my rules that's recorded by me.
Can we have squishy chickens?
What?
Where they like, if they get really angry, they can hit each other with a squishy chicken.
I hadn't thought about but like I'm just excited because I feel like I've seen some debates on Rogan and again, I'm not Rogan, but I've seen his style debates where it's like just people drinking coffee and talking about things, and I'm super pumped to be able to do one of these too. I was like, listen, guys, as much hot coffee as you want. I think they're both Mormon, so I don't know if they drink coffee, but I'll get them whatever beverages they want. A lot of water. I'll drink the coffee, and I'll just sit here and enjoy myself. Soda water's great. Everybody likes that. Have you ever had the Spindrift?
Oh, they're the best.
They're the best.
They really are. They have like just enough that flavor where it doesn't feel like a lemon farted in your cup. That's what it is. It's like the essence. It's like somebody blew a lemon on it. And it was like, it's lemon flavored. And it's like, no, it's not.
Did you ever hear the Dane Cook bits about the Ovaltine? He had a bit about Ovaltine and mixing up the Ovaltine, and you like never really got the Ovaltine started. So he's like, oh, sand missile. Oh, in my chocolatey drink.
Oh.
Dane Cook was great until he went crazy. He's like the second version of Woody Allen.
Okay. Do you know why he went crazy? His brother embezzled all his money. He lost everything.
I did hear that.
So
but he made that money back. He actually, I heard this full story. So Dane Cook's brother is his like financial manager. This is step brother. And he realizes that his brother swindled him and took all of his money. But the only thing apparently the brother couldn't get access to was like the $600,000 or $700,000 in this like random retirement account that Dane Cook had on the side, right? So he, in an emergency situation, takes that money, rents this is when he started doing his mass like Coliseum bits. So he rents out this entire arena with like the center stage and starts doing these sold out shows where he just does one. And after the first one, he took all the money he made and re-rented the arena. Yeah. And so he just over and over. And then he got made
invested
whole.
That money over and over again.
Over and over and over. And then got made whole back to like his $12 million fortune.
That is insane.
Plus he's Dusty Crop Hopper.
You know what? I got to just say the tenacity. Right. Because most people that are handed that kind of situation don't come out as eloquently, as gracefully. They really do lose it. And then they take this moment and they go, I can't do this anymore. They choose another way.
Not the dude from Schitt's Creek.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Dan Levy. Oh, that man will forever hold a place in my heart. That show is the pinnacle. Like, we found a shirt. Oh my gosh, a shirt at the thrift store that said, oh my gosh, it said done. And so I told Vinny, I was like, you can have it if you want, because on your rough days, you just wear your shirt that says done. Yeah, and people know. And the tag said Schitt's Creek. And he's like, Mom, your favorite show.
Oh,
look.
My God. Ew, David. Like,
I know. Ew. Have you tried Negrante yet, by the way?
I have not tried Negrante.
I'm kind of saddened, but we also might need to do like an ice cream parlor day. They have the most phenomenal goat's milk ice cream. You never would have been able to tell me that it wasn't like regular dairy.
Listen to me.
You're a purist, aren't you?
Listen to me. Listen to me. I have, when you realize things about yourself and that you're just kind of like, I don't love that about me.
Oh, you mean on the daily, Matt? I have a list. Me.
Okay, listen. I was raised in a household where like my parents got divorced. I lived with my mom, and from like 8th grade to senior year, I lived with my mom, and my mom had a different extreme diet like every other mom.
Like the Atkins diet?
No. I'm talking like the blood type diet, the zone diet. Like, I got my finger pricked at the Thanksgiving table when I was 16 one year to go over to find what my blood type was. I forgot what it was. But my auntie, who's a bit crazy, pricks my finger and then's like, you can't eat tomatoes. And I'm like, you mean like that dump truck of tomatoes I just ate?
You mean like that pasta sauce that I just shoveled?
Like, I don't. And so like she goes through all these and there was a different zone. She's like, well, my mom's telling me, because she read this book, which like changed her whole thing. Then it was like the zone diet was you can't mix these two particular foods because they go to war in your gut because you need different digestive enzymes.
I can understand those kinds of things.
Like, so blood type and then zone and then whole food and then vegan and then this and then that. And so, okay, this is my point. I grew up under the roof with somebody who changed diets frequently and like kept reinventing the world of nutrition. Okay. And I've realized of myself, I have a propensity to get behind ridiculous diets.
Well, it's not a diet though. So I understand your propensity.
Or like valuing these atypical food items like I need goat milk, confetti. I don't know.
I pictured goat shooting confetti out, and I can't get the image out of my head now.
Funfetti, the cake. Like
I know what you meant, but I pictured goat fetty.
Stop. But this is my problem. And like, I don't like this aspect of myself, but I see that I do it. And so like when you're like, hey, we need to go, like, could you just say it has good ice cream and we just move
regular
on?
Like cow milk ice cream. But for people like me who don't digest cow milk, it's like my one thing I can go and get where I'm not feeling like I'm not able to enjoy it. And I'm also not miserable afterwards because that ain't fun.
Okay, this guy, Mark Warnke, who raises goats and provides goat milk to the area, he came on my show and he was like, I'll get you some goat milk. And I was like, hell yeah, man. Cool. Super cool guy. Super like philosophical, which I was not anticipating from a goat farmer. Man. Yeah, the goats, man. Anyway, so he gets me this gallon of goat milk. I'm like, heck yeah, like this is awesome. And I drank this gallon of goat's milk. He's like, he tells me all this stuff about how like lactose gets broken down, all these things. Mm-hmm. And maybe it works for most people. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, it was a very interesting week following the gallon of goat milk.
Was it like that time that you went and chugged all that water your friend had made and then you kept running to their house?
Pretty much, the mineral water. But like, here's the other thing. I don't know if it was necessary. I don't even know if Mark's wrong. Like what I think also may have happened is like, I don't like drinking a lot of milk, drinking a lot of any dairy product, be it goat or cow, is not like in my workflow of my diet. So the fact that I was going to get these big glasses of goat milk to like chug it down is not something that was normal for me. Okay. So like this one time in college, this is not a good idea. I took a Nalgene and somebody was like, oh, soy milk's good for you. What's a Nalgene bottle? And now it's like the big like quart Nalgene bottles that are, oh my gosh, like the hippie bottles. Come on. If you've ever been to REI, they have Nalgene bottles dropping from the ceiling.
REI, to walk in the door, it's like a $50 deposit. No thanks.
Listen, I know. Anyway, so I get my big Nalgene bottle. We used to use them. I was on the rowing team. We just fill them up. It was like a quart or whatever.
Fair enough.
And I'm like, oh, soy milk's good for you. Like, okay, great. So the place we were eating, the dining hall, had this soy milk thing. And I was like, oh, cool. Just fill up this thing with soy milk. So I drink this whole like quart of soy milk. And I don't think that I'm allergic to soy milk per se, but what happened to me over the next 24 hours would indicate that drinking that much soy milk is likely not a good thing for my gut.
I don't know if I'm just an outsider on all these stories, so I'm watching every one of these stories. There's a commonality outside of you. No.
Yeah.
The overconsumption of a single item in a sitting. Just throwing that out there. Maybe just pulling back a little. Moderation.
This is part of my problem. I'm not good with moderation.
Okay, neither is my husband. He will pull out a quart of ice cream in front of our kids and be like, they're like, Dad, you need a bowl for that. And he's like, why do I need a dirty bowl? I'm just going to eat from here. Like, it's going to be fine. And they're like, but Dad, Mom said you have to scoop it in a bowl. And I'm like, I said you have to scoop it. And he's like, I'm not hurting anybody, so I'm going to continue with what I'm doing. So it's like, it's an interesting thing. I wonder if it's like a male in a certain generation, like, I don't know.
No, it's somebody who lacks willpower. It's not a male thing. Like, there are plenty of overweight females too. It's just people who like ice cream and feed their dumb faces like me. Like,
and so I probably shouldn't tell you that at 11:21 last night I went downstairs and made myself a bowl of chili. Like an entire bowl of chili. Okay, so in my defense, I got so busy yesterday.
How did you sleep the rest of the night?
Not very well. Not very well. I had a stomachache when I woke up.
Oh my God. You're moving so far away from the mic. Move the mic with you.
Sorry.
You can back up. Just take the mic with you.
I'll just
look, all you got to do is this. There we go. We're going with it.
I'm just going to have my hand permanently attached. We're going to super glue it.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just interesting because I think I was just always taught the portions like from a really young age of like, this is what a normal portion size is. And I'm not a very big human being. So like if I don't follow those, like 5 pounds on me looks like 25 pounds. I get like
okay, but
you're welcome for that visual.
You're not helping. What I'm saying is that I got a lot of drawbacks, and I want to go to Negroni.
Yeah. This is actually their second location in Idaho area.
Negroni is the drink.
Negroni is a drink, yes.
Negroni is the ice cream place.
They do have, oh my gosh, I think it's an affogato. I don't know. I'm saying it wrong, and I know I am. We're gonna take this, and you can correct me all you want. But they put a scoop of their ice cream, and they pour an espresso shot over it.
Okay, Matt, now you have me. You have me 100%.
So we'll get you the regular cow's milk ice cream
with the shot of espresso.
Over it.
Hell yeah! Mm-hmm. Do they educate you on the distinction between gelato and ice cream?
I've heard the distinction made, but they're not making gelato, so not them specifically.
Do you know what it is?
It's a much different form. It's so much higher in fat and sugar.
It's still ice cream.
It is ice cream, technically speaking, yes.
So it's just fattier ice cream.
It's very rich. So the intention behind gelato is you're not eating an entire scoop like an American-style sundae.
Look, maybe you're not. I'll eat a whole container.
I do have a coffee cup with a width about that big, intended for chow mein and coffee. So it's multi-purpose.
Have you ever been to Winco? Do you shop at Winco?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Winco is one of our solid places we go every
solid staple. And you have they have the fancy bougie gelato ice cream there. That is really good.
Wait, what?
Yeah. What is it? It's gelati or something. I can't remember.
Yeah. They have it at Albertsons. They have it at Winco. Yes.
But they also have it at Whole Foods. Yes, there it is. And they have it there. And it's like $2, $3.
So much cheaper.
$25 at Whole Foods.
It's $6.99 at Albertsons.
Yeah, but Winco wins every time.
Mm-hmm. The best one is their lemon zest. Mm-hmm. It is the most palate refreshing. Okay, do you ever see the movie Princess Diaries back in the day? It was Anne Hathaway. It was one of her first roles. It was a Disney movie.
No.
Okay, anyways, I digress. She's the Princess of Genovia. And she meets this grandma that reveals that her dad was the king, blah, blah, blah. He passed away. It's her time to take over and reign. But she's having to learn how to be a princess because she's this dorky girl, which is really fun for all of us who glasses and acne at the time. And visual of Brandy. And so she, in between courses, because it's a very, multi-course meal and you're in fancy dresses, she doesn't understand that it is a sorbet for a palate cleanser between your meal. And she just starts shoving the whole thing in her mouth. And it's so cold that people are trying to save her reputation. They shovel all of it in their mouth as well. And they're all panicking with brain freeze. And it is, you'll have to look the clip up, and it is phenomenal.
Do you get bummed? How do you maintain positivity? I've been really taken, and I'm a pretty positive guy, you know that, but I've had these dips lately where it's I'm doing really intense interviews with people, and I was having a conversation just yesterday. One of the people that watches the podcast was like, dude, I'm kind of actually I'm on the verge of getting a little bummed out about the problems around here because I do so many interviews that engage very real things, right? Struggles or problems or things like that.
Hard-hitting topics.
Yeah, right. And it's listen, don't get bummed out first off, right? That's not the answer. I'm working on it. I love having you in here. And there's I got this Northwest Premium Meat guy. He's going to start coming in on a more regular basis. And so next time he comes in, we're doing a brined, slow-cooked buffalo hump roast. And he's going to bring in a buffalo hump roast and we're going to eat it. I'm
so jealous. That sounds amazing.
I know, but I just
You're going to have to tell me how it is.
Oh,
I've never had buffalo.
Oh, he said it's a fattier, better brisket. Okay. And he does it in a slow cooker. He's you got to pickle it first or brine it.
Yeah.
Dude, whatever you're going to do, I don't care. But he essentially does a corned beef buffalo hump. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Yeah, and this guy, he also is a special.
So I need his card.
Well, his name's Elliot. I'll get it for you. And this is the thing. He's if more people knew about the different cuts, then we would have more local producers and providers of meat. Because instead, we just all go to Costco and take the 4 things they have. It's tri-tip, brisket, filet, and then ground beef. And we just walk away. But he was you can have things there are buffalo hump producers. There are these different specialty meat producers in the area. They're just not getting any play because people don't know about the things they can do.
Yeah, it's that awareness piece. A lot of people don't even know we
talked about that intentionality. So, but what do you do to stay positive? Because I think a lot of people, especially around election time, are getting really bummed, and it's something that I've been confronting. Because again, everywhere has its problems. There's nowhere that's perfect. This area is no exception. like, what do you do? Because you're a generally positive person.
I think, especially in the last couple of years. So I know you and I off camera have had this discussion. I was in a pretty bad car accident a few years ago. So it took a reminder of I'm here for a reason. I did not die in this car accident for some reason. And so you know what? I got to figure out what that reason is. And just having a daily amount of gratitude that I get to be here and I get to witness my little boys grow up and I get to be a daughter and a friend and a wife and I get to work for the chamber and I get to make a difference. It's that like refocus of my mentality of why am I doing this? And I need to have gratitude for every one of these moments. Because there's so many families right now that don't have money to put food on the table, that aren't able to bring and provide for their kids, that aren't able to have this time that I have with my children. So it really is that like intentional shifting of the mindset. And don't get me wrong, like I have bummer days. I just had a really bad day the other day and I went on a walk with my neighbor, who's my really good girlfriend, and her son and my kids, and I was a bummer the whole time and I felt it and I apologized up and down. But I think for me, it's just reminding myself that being here is a gift. And no matter what, I need to value that and be appreciative because I could have not had this gift. Yeah. So that's my answer.
God, that's such a good perspective.
That's all.
So good.
I probably was not, I'm always a very positive person. Like most people that know me know Brandy is sunshine, but the last couple years really challenged my sunshine and challenged me to really feel dim and bringing that sunshine back out and reminding myself that I can be happy and I'm allowed to be happy and positive and have gratitude because I am here. So just that refocusing. And I feel like a lot of times we allow ourselves to be so overwhelmed that we can't see past the thick of it. And in that thick of it, you're not I know I keep walking away.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
In the thick of it, you can't see that sun shining through. So moving that away to remind yourself that the sunshine is still there is something that I think we all have a hard time doing, especially in this time of year.
I agree with you. I think I was shielded for a long time just by ignorance. I think I was shielded from more depressing things just by like, I'm just focusing on my own thing, like, going.
It's a much simpler life.
Like it's a much simpler, but there are also problems that need to be flushed out.
Yes.
Right. And that's just the way it goes. I can choose to not address these things. Like, again, like the chief of Canyon County Ambulance and Paramedics was in here a couple weeks ago talking about funding the Canyon County stuff. And they're like, hey, listen, right now it's like 9-10 minutes for an ambulance to get to you. It really should be like 5 minutes or whatever it might be. Like, it doesn't matter. And that it's like, gosh, man, do I want that in my head that, if I travel to Canyon County to do something, I'm going to have a prolonged wait for an ambulance. Like that might be really, really bad. But at the same time, it's like, you can not talk about it, but it's not going to fix anything. Right? Like Chief Stowell is not better off if Matt just decides from like, hey, look, you know what? I only want to talk happy things. Like I only want to hang out with Brandy and talk trash about gelato.
And eat food.
Right. And eat food. Like I think there is a place for that. And I think it's like a recharging thing for sure. But at the same time, it's like somebody's got to do it.
But
like, somebody's got to bring reality.
You're also bringing sunshine to that dimness. You are providing an outlet and a resource to have these thoughtful conversations where people can be informed, but providing it in a very clean way, in a way that is not derogatory towards them or towards the other side. Because obviously you talk to when the mayor had elections, you're an innocent bystander. You're looking for information and you're looking to provide information to your community. So you doing these things is providing sunshine in this dimness, because the majority of people, it's easier to be naive and not know about these things because then you don't have to address them. It's a harder job for you to have to address them and say, hey, I'm giving information for you guys. And listening to every one of these is very heavy hitting on you as a person.
Like you at the Eagle Chamber, you have to address issues with businesses. You have to address problems that they're having. You have to address all kinds of things. Like, does it ever get you down when and I don't mean to be like Debbie Downer Day.
No, these are great questions.
When you're confronting a business, it's like, hey, look, we're down 40%, or like, hey, look, the city's cutting this event, or hey, look, we're struggling in this way.
Yeah.
You obviously are doing your best, right? Like Eagle Chamber is doing its best. You're the executive director. You're doing your best to help support these businesses.
Right.
But I've heard of some businesses that are just like, look, there's nothing we can do. And it bums me out. It's like, dang it. No, you can't guilt people into patronizing them. Like they either offer value or they don't. And people saying that's not worth the money you're charging is really important for any business because we need to have clarity. This should not be an obligation. It should not be a guilt thing. It should be, I'm only paying for what offers me real value. And businesses need that feedback, right? But it's also like when you're rooting for somebody and you want it to work and you're like, they're not going to make it. That's not something that people want to spend money on. Feeling. Yeah.
It's a very tough feeling. At the end of the day, my job is, and my fiduciary responsibility is to our members. So it is my fiduciary responsibility to provide whatever I can service-wise to these members. So I am here to advocate for their business. So at the end of the day, regardless of my feelings, my observations, I am their cheerleader in the background. Our entire chamber board, our staff, everybody is rooting them on, hoping to watch them, for lack of a better term, soar. You know, we want to see them successful in any way we can, and we partner alongside them in any way we can. So everybody's needs, though, are so different. You have people who are, you know, and we get a lot of feedback, especially as times are changing and the demands of our culture are changing and the demands of the political climate change. Everybody's needs kind of shift and bobble. But at the end of the day, our main goal is to advocate for our local business and make sure that they are thriving. And how do we do that? We do that by actively supporting them in their campaigns, helping them advertise, helping them get the word out that they even exist, because that is a huge hurdle for most businesses. So it's remaining positive, reminding them of their value and worth. I tell this, Holly, she's our membership manager. I remind her all the time because I love her so much. Your value and your worth, you need to remember that from yourself. You are so valuable, you are an amazing person, and you are so worthy of every second that you are working and talking to these people. You are intended to be here at this moment in time, and you're intended to have these conversations. And these, even if you don't feel like it, these are making these, you're planting those seeds. You're watering those seeds. You're reminding them that we are advocating for them on the sidelines, even when they don't know it.
Yeah, and look,
I may have gone on a side track there.
No. You're on it. And as you're talking about this, it's like, look, I guess the free market of the world is crazy, right? And you just look at the podcast, right? Like I started this in, I think it was like July of 22 or something like that. That's when I built the studio. And you know, nobody handed me an audience, right? It's been over 2 years. What, it's September. We're going into October. So like I'm almost at the 2.5 year mark. And that's just the way this goes. Like it's this painful, horrendous slog and, you know, screwing up episodes or learning everything because I don't have a background in video audio, you know, but like that's the way this goes. And it's through that pressure of having an honest appraisal of what I'm doing. Because you know what's really frustrating? When you know something's bad or it could be better and people are like, oh, it's great. I want to kill those people. You're not helping. You're not, because I know now that you're a liar.
I don't trust you.
I don't trust you at all. I hate you. I hate your face. Like that's what I want to say. I don't
necessarily hate their face.
No, I hate their face. Their face is terrible. That's a face of somebody who's just willing to lie to you just for your feelings. And that, you know what's great? For my feelings, it's great. For my success, it's terrible.
It's funny you say that. So my brother-in-law he is one of the most honest people I've ever met on the face of the planet. Like he values honesty to the nth degree.
I don't think I can hang out with him. I need a little bit of a lie.
So here's the thing. So he talked to me one time. He was like, I don't believe in niceties. I don't believe in being nice to one. I believe in being kind. So if I come out and tell somebody, you look really great today, they know I'm genuinely saying that from a place in my heart versus, hey.
Is that why you've never said I look good?
I complimented your hat last week, Matt. Really? Tough game over here. Wow, man.
Oh my God.
But
you buy yourself one hat and everybody has to comment.
It's just one of those things that like that is such a unique thing, I think, to our society though.
You know what? I started this out. I've been a little bummed. Okay, here's the deal. The reason the United States is good is because we constantly go through this trial and error and the pain of creationism and the pain of marketing, like the pain of competition. And that's what yields the best end result. Like, I deeply believe that. I guess I've just been bummed out because it's like we're going through those growing pains.
It is
like
growing pains.
We as a society, we as a local society within Idaho, the local business, like that's just what it is. Because if your baby's ugly, somebody needs to tell you your baby's ugly. If the product is not good, somebody needs to tell you that. And I want you to make it. I want this podcast to make it. But like, damn it, man. Like if I'm not doing something that people want to listen to, if we aren't collectively providing something, then I shouldn't make it. So forget it. We come full circle, Brandy.
I love it. I love it. We just bring it around town. I picture SpongeBob at that moment. Bring it around town. Just bring it around.
Hi, SpongeBob.
Hi, Patrick. I think what's really cool about our Treasure Valley, and I'll end that on this note, is there is the essence of competition that keeps people competitive, wanting to try new things, but there is such a collaborative effort as well that is very unique to our society out here. Is there so many people that are willing to partner together to make something wonderful happen, regardless of how it makes their business flourish. So like I look at the chamber, and as we're going through all of these like we have so many fun things planned for next year. I want zero credit. I want to look back and go, oh my gosh, look at all of the amazing things all of us did, because it doesn't take just me. It takes Holly working her butt off, me, our director of the board, our entire board of directors, everybody coming together to make sure that this is plausible and possible. And I feel like that's that collaborative effort that is somewhat of an Idahoan thing. And it's kind of cool that we are unique to that. We're competitive because we all want to succeed, but we collaborate in a really neat effort. So I feel like there is that of like wanting to make sure these businesses are doing the most cool dynamic thing. It keeps us on our game. But knowing too at the end of the day that there's collaboration happening to make sure all of us succeed or all of us are getting lifted up at the same time, that's also a really cool thing.
God bless you, woman. Listen, you're in the middle of work day. I know you got to think. Thanks for coming in, Brandy.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for the snacks. We'll do it again next week.
Absolutely.